Happy Monday, everyone. It's Joe, and it's time for Puck It with Joe over here on Sports Grid, a Sports Grid TV. Small slate in the NHL today, and those hard losses yesterday for me out there. I really did think the Sharks could keep it close with the Ducks last time. I believe in that. The Edmonton Oilers this weekend, we know everything that's been going on with them. They are in action tonight. So we're going to break down that game. We also have another rematch between the Colorado Avalanche and the Seattle Seahawks. So only those two games, but plenty of opportunities to make some money. I see your comments coming in already. Joe with the Go Kraken. I'm not sure if I can get there, Joe. We'll break that one down in just a second. The first game, the New York Islanders facing up against the Edmonton Oilers. Now, the Islanders involved in their own controversy themselves. They got players telling their fans, then don't come to the games, basically. This team losing their last four games. Now they're on the road in Edmonton, plus 134 right now on the money line over on FanDuel. You look at the Edmonton Oilers minus 162, the total 6.5. Now that is juiced to the under at minus 118 to the under. If you think the Edmonton Oilers are going to get a big win, laying the 1.5 at plus 150. Now, I'm not sure if I can get behind Edmonton in this one, you guys. I know that they're the favorite. I know the firing of the coach is real for some of these teams, but Connor McDavid, not with the decision here of ownership to fire their head coach. And I really do think he's right in saying it wasn't our coach's fault in Woodcraft. It's ours. It's our players. We're not playing well enough. So you look at that. You look at the new coach coming in here. You look at them off that win over the Seattle Kraken, which Zach Hyman got lucky. Zach Hyman, well, not lucky. He played excellent. He got the hat trick in that game. They got 4 goals in the first period, and then the Seattle Kraken held them off the board. Seattle only able to score 1 goal in that third period. But then you also look at what Edmonton's defense was able to do. And I actually really appreciate what their defense was able to do. They limited the Seattle Kraken's ability to get those shots on goal. So it was an interesting one. I'm just not buying in to this team being a completely different team here under the new coaching. Will they be? Absolutely. And I do buy into that. We will see changes for this team, but I just don't think those changes are coming right away. I'm going to look at the Islanders. I was looking for goalie props to come out, and let me just double check nothing's come out in the last 5 minutes because we are having goalie props. Sorokin coming in here at 30.5 at minus 118 to the over. Skinner, his number 25.5 at minus 116. When we look at both of these teams have been doing a pretty decent job at limiting the shots on goal. The Edmonton Oilers holding opponents to 28.8, which is 7th overall in the league. And the Islanders, well, they allow a lot more, 34.6. So Sorokin not getting that support in front of the net. I would look at Sorokin's numbers. Now, Sorokin has been struggling. He has lost the last 3 starts. He's given up 4 more goals in each of those games. And if you look at Edmonton over the 3.5 goals in this, I think there's value, but I do think this is a game where the Islanders can get the win. So I don't want to look at that. I would look at Sorokin, though. He absolutely needs this bounce back. He needs more support from his defense than he's getting. Sorokin is a phenomenal goalie. Over 30.5 save shots on goal for Sorokin is at minus 118. I really do like that. Now, this is game 1 of a road trip for the Islanders here. Like I said, this team needs to play more consistent. They've lost their last 4 games. They've been struggling out there on the ice. I just can't back the Edmonton Oilers right now. Both of these teams having that controversy off the ice, especially with the Islanders getting booed by their fans and telling their fans basically don't come back if you don't like what you're seeing. I think we're going to see quick goals in this one and then things tighten up. I'm looking for a higher first period. Do I like the full game over? Probably not, because I do think defense answers back after that first period. So I'm going to look at the first period over 1.5. That's coming in at minus 132. I do think we see that phenomenally quick goal out of one of these teams. We know the Islanders need to get on the board, and we have Stuart Skinner in net here for the Edmonton Oilers. Nothing has changed for this team in goaltending and with their defense. While their defense giving more support, Skinner can't stop very much. He's got a 3.53 goals against average and a 0.861 save percentage. So Give me a goal in the first 5 minutes at plus 168. Give me the Islanders here on the money line. I absolutely love the value. We're getting them right now. Let me just go back on FanDuel. Current odds on them on the money line plus 134. So that has come down. It was plus 146 earlier in the day as money comes in. And that first period over 1.5. And then I tell you, it's going to be a really interesting one here. So you guys, let's jump into the next game. Did I say the Seattle Seahawks? I meant the Seattle Kraken. I'm already, if I did, apologies, you guys. Let's look at the Colorado Avalanche and the Seattle Kraken here. Now, current odds on this one, the Avs coming in at minus 154, plus 128 here for the Kraken. Total 6.5. Now, this is juiced to the under at minus 120 to the under. Looking at the goalie matchup here, Georgiev expected here for the Avs and Joey Decord expected or actually confirmed for the Seattle Seahawks. There I go. The Seattle Kraken. He's got a 2.5, 8 goals against average, and a 0.913. I don't really trust him in net here. We look at these two teams, and they just did play. November 9th, we saw the Seattle Kraken get the win. It was a 4-3 win. It was a tight game. And then Colorado, they've had their struggles. They lost that game to the St. Louis Blues in their last game out. They only scored 2 goals. They allowed the St. Louis Blues to score 8. I do think they were in a look-ahead situation with the Kraken on deck on the road. So I expected them to have a tight game with the Blues. We took them plus 1.5 if you join me over here on a Pocket with Joe. And I do think this is a game where Colorado answers back off that embarrassing loss to the Blues in the look-ahead position to the Kraken and gets a nice big win in this one. I'm going to look at the Colorado Avalanche. Their team total over 3.5 coming in at plus 102. We know Decord here has been allowing those goals to come in at 2.58 and a 0.913 save percentage. I don't believe in his abilities to stop the elite offensive units of the Colorado Avalanche. So this team does take limited penalties out for the Kraken, but they are allowing 3.4 goals per game and 31.3 shots on their goaltenders. They are in a situation where they just lost to Edmonton, and then they have Edmonton on deck on Wednesday. They are off an embarrassing loss to Edmonton, 4-1. I think they're kind of in the same situation where the Avs were versus the St. Louis Blues. So I'm going to take the Avs team total over 3.5. I'm also going to take them on that puck line, laying 1.5 at plus 164. This team, 7-6 on the puck line for the season, 3-4 on the road. But the Kraken, they're 2-4 at home on that puck line. I don't see this being a game where it's another 4-3. I think we get the empty netter. This is a 5-3 style game for me for the Colorado Avalanche with that empty netter coming. Now, Cale Makar, you guys know I love to circle him and everything that he's been doing. Strong defenseman out here. So strong, getting those shots off on the blue line. He had 5 shots on goal in the last game versus the St. Louis Blues. And he's had an assist in the last 3 games. Versus the Devils, I think he had 2 points in that one. I have to go back and check, but he was phenomenally strong in those last couple of games. You can take him 2+ points tonight at plus 215. I think there's so much value in that in a high-scoring game. I could see the goal. I could see the assist. His shots on goal number is a little bit safer to take. Looking at his shots on goal, that's coming in over 2.5 at minus 140. Like I said, he had 5 shots in the last game versus St. Louis. I think you can bump it up, a 4+ shots on goal for Cale Makar coming in at plus 172, and I don't hate that at all. But it's Colorado or nothing in this one. They have the better offense, the better off the blue line, and arguably the better goaltending here as well. So I think this is a nice big win in this one. You guys, Johnny, you're saying Avs in the first. Yeah, I looked at Avs in the first, but when we look at those first period breakdowns, the Avs sometimes on the road get off to a slower start than the Seattle Kraken do at home. So I could see this being a game where the Avs go down in that first period, which makes an optimal live betting opportunity for us if they do, if the Seattle Kraken are able to get that first goal, then looking at Colorado coming out on the money line is something I definitely have circled in my live betting for tonight. So, you guys, that is it. Only the 2 games. We have a ton of games tomorrow. I think there's what, 5, 6, 7, no, something like that. I think there's 5 or 6. And I'll be on Game Time Decisions tonight over on Sports Grid at 6:20 with Kevin Walsh. So make sure you come over and join me there for all of my bets in tonight's Monday Night Football game. I think it's a big game out of Von Miller. Let's hope, fingers crossed. But you guys have a good night. All the best in all of your bets. We'll be back here tomorrow at 5:30 Eastern for all of your picks, props, parlays, predictions in the NHL. You guys, all the best. Seattle has Colorado's number. Well, I don't know the road team. Peter, look at the road team splits there and look at how the Avs have done in Seattle. It's the road team has dominated these matchups. The road team going 4-1. 5-0 in the last 5 meetings for the road team, and the Avs winning 4 of the last 5 in Seattle. I really do think the Avs get things back on track. So give me the favorite in this game. Give me the underdog in the Oilers game. Let's make some freaking money. Bye, guys.